Hello, I'm Dr. Claude. Welcome to my home. I'd like to do some presentations today so that it's easier for you to stick to your plan, understand what you need to do, especially with vegetables. Let's start. One of the main things I'd like to make sure that you get out of this demonstration is that what exactly visually is 1 cup of vegetables, the 2 types of vegetables, the leafy greens and the chunky vegetables. So I'm going to demonstrate to you what this exactly looks like. What I have here is a bag from Trader Joe's, and it's called Power to the Greens, organic baby kale, baby chard, and baby spinach. So 3 types of baby greens. When I look at the nutritional facts of this bag, it says 1.5 cups total. The whole bag here is 1.5 cups only. So let's say that your plan calls for 1.5 cups of green vegetables to go in your smoothie or your morning meal. You're looking at it here. It's the whole bag. So it's not a little handful. It is not something that you should estimate. You can actually buy one of these bags and it'll give you 1.5 cups of greens. If your plan calls for 1 cup of greens, then you can take 2/3 of this bag and put it in your smoothie, your omelet, and so forth. So here's an example of 1.5 cups of greens. You see, without this demonstration, it's very hard to visualize that this is indeed 1.5 cups. It looks to me, or to the untrained eye, not to me actually, used to look to me, but to the untrained eye, this looks like 10 cups. So when you tell me that you're eating a lot of greens and a lot of vegetables compared to this fact that you have just learned, is that still a lot of greens? It's probably 1.5 cups for the whole day. This looks like a huge salad to most people, but in fact it's 1.5 cups of vegetables. This is probably why most people are getting sick, why most people are becoming overweight, why most people are developing diabetes, heart conditions, strokes, or any other conditions of that nature. So if your plan, for example, calls for 10 cups of vegetables for the whole day, you can imagine what that really means. 10 cups of vegetables. If you're going for the greens, let's say 5 cups of greens and 5 cups of chunky vegetables, this is what we're talking about. This is really just a reality adjustment for most people, and it's essential for you to know so that you are on plan. Now, what if you can't eat that much, which is the case for most people? Don't feel that this is unique to you. This is the case for most people. Most people are not trained, they're not used to eating all of that. So what do? We can cook it down. When you cook these, they will wilt and shrink in size so that you can actually eat them. And if that's still not enough, you can simply juice them, you can add them to soups, and they'll sort of disappear into the whole bulk of the soup or whatever else that you're making, such as stews, stir fries, or things of that nature, okay? So I just wanted, and this is the main purpose of this video, is to show you that there's a lot of food that you can be eating. We're talking volumes and volumes of food. If you are to be on plan, your chances of getting hungry between meals, having cravings between meals, will be diminished day after day until they are completely gone, simply because of this volume. Now, of course, this depends on the density of the vegetables that we're looking at. These obviously are very light vegetables. They lack density, they're fluffy, they take up space and so forth. I'm going to show you what a cup of vegetables or 2 cups look like using different vegetables. What I want to show you now is a different mixture of vegetables and how you can visually just eyeball it and decide how many cups of these vegetables we're looking at. This is the organic broccoli slaw. Basically, on the ingredient list it says organic shredded broccoli stalks, and organic shredded carrots. I'm going to empty the whole thing on the same plate that I used before. Okay, and that's really this has 4 cups of vegetables. So what you're looking at here, which is a smaller pile than the one we just used or looked at, is basically 4 cups of vegetables. The other one was 1.5 cups of vegetable. Obviously, this is much denser. Now what I want to do is I want to put this bag into the bag so you can estimate how many handfuls of this would be the 4 cups. So about 3. So 4 cups of this was about 3 handfuls. Okay, this is not even half of a handful. So just keep that in mind. This is denser, and you can just using a measure of a handful. Maybe for the ladies it would be much smaller than my handful, and maybe it's 1 handful per cup. Okay, but this is really a full handful, so that handles that for us. Okay, this is a different mix. It's basically Brussels sprouts shredded, ready to go. It's all washed and cleaned and shredded. I'm going to do the same so we can estimate and learn or develop the skill on how to do that. It's a big pile already, as you can see, and this has 3 cups. So putting it back into the bag, we're going to come to some kind of conclusion after we go through all of these different types of vegetables, cut in many different ways, mixed in many different ways, just for you to develop that skill of what is a handful of vegetables in terms of cups. Okay, stay with me. Now this is another thing that I want to show you, and I'm doing all of that so I can demonstrate to you, one, that you can get all of these pre-cut, pre-washed, ready to go, so there's no time that you have to spend getting this ready. It's really not expensive either. Number 2, I want you to develop the skill to eyeball it and determine how many cups you are using when you make a salad or a smoothie or anything of that nature. I'm going to empty this one too, right on the same plate, which is a very large plate, by the way. And look what we have here. Look what we have here. This is a mixture of kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, green cabbage, and red cabbage. A lot of cruciferous vegetables. This is extremely healthy, as you can see. Now I'm going to put this bag into the bag. 4 handfuls. Now let's take a look and see how many we have here. We have 3.5 cups. Three and a half cups. Okay. Now we're going to move to chunky vegetables. This is crimini mushrooms. I'm just going to open this up. This is the whole bag of the mushrooms. Again, pre-washed, pre-cut, just ready to go. Of course, this is denser, it's chunkier. We have 3.5 cups in this bag. So I'm going to try to get this back into the bag. Almost 4, maybe 3.5 to 4. So basically, what this is telling me is that a handful of pre-washed, pre-cut mushrooms would be about a cup of mushrooms. Okay? This here is very finely chopped mixture of 8 healthy vegetables, all chunky vegetables. Let me verify that. No, not all. broccoli, carrots, green cabbage, red cabbage, jicama, a green bell pepper, radishes, and celery. So a mixture of both. Also from Trader Joe's, Healthy 8 chopped veggie mix. That's the name of it. And we're gonna do the same. Cups. This is 4 cups. You're gonna notice that for a lot of you, we will be using or needing about 4 cups of chunky vegetables for dinner almost on a daily basis, in addition to everything else. So this would be a single person's serving of 4 cups of vegetables. I'm gonna open this up. It's really dense, packed to the limit. And when you put it on a plate, it's actually very large. This can be stir-fried easily. It takes nothing. Okay, so there you go. It's another pile of very dense, finely cut vegetables. And almost six handfuls. Okay? So when it's packed like that, chopped really fine, you get 6 handfuls in what would be about 4 cups. Okay? 6 handfuls, 4 cups. So we're still really close. If we want to just do it on a rough basis, it'll be about, so far, about a handful per cup, or if we're talking about fluffy vegetables, it will probably be a handful per half a cup so far.